It's maximum exposure. Hey, this ain't just a guy's sport. Let's face it, who's better equipped to handle 1,000 pounds of raging testosterone than a genuine cowgal? And these girls don't back down from anything. Denise Luna's been bucking Broncos for years. She's also a model and been featured in Playboy.
I'm gonna beat the bull, and I'm here to win the money.
The rules in this sport are really simple. Keep a half ton of smoking terror between your legs for 6 seconds. Denise is one of the best. But even the best take a beating.
When I dropped, he came down with one of his feet on my foot and broke it instantly. He won the battle.
That battle was nothing compared to the vicious war that one bull waged on Denise's beautiful face. Warning, viewer discretion is advised. Ah, that's gotta hurt. Another look, slower and up close. Denise's hand is stuck and she's having trouble getting away from the bull. So the bull decides to shake himself loose with a savage blow to her face. Amazingly, Denise escaped this whack attack without being disfigured.
He hooked me underneath the chin where the horn could easily go into the tissue and do a lot of damage. It wasn't that bad. I got over it.
She might have got over it, but we won't. As Winston Churchill once said, bulls and supermodels just don't mix. There are some guys that really need to rethink their career choices. Matt Coulter's not exactly a great stuntman. In fact, he's not even a good stuntman. In fact, well, he really sucks. Watch as Matt jumps his ATV over this steamboat. He has everything worked out except for the landing. What do you think of your landing, Matt? You said it, Matt. That deserves another look in slow motion. Matt comes roaring up the ramp on his ATV. He's launched into the air, clears the steamboat by a mile, and now comes the part he doesn't get, the landing.
I don't consider myself a daredevil, really, because I don't want to die. Well, not yet anyway. I consider myself really an entertainer, because I love to entertain the crowds. That's what I mainly do this for.
Well, apparently in Australia, this is a crowd. Here's that crash again. Amazingly, Matt escapes with only a broken leg.
Who did it? Woo! Bloody good at what I tell you.
So bloody good, in fact, he showed us there's more than one way to jump a steamboat. Here's another attempt. You'll see that Matt doesn't even come close to clearing the steamboat. Crash! And a slow motion look. I'd give him a 10 for form, a 10 for crashing, and a 10 for the landing. Come on, let's hear it for Australian stuntman Matt Coulter. He calls himself the Kangaroo Kid. We call him the crash test dummy. Four-wheel hurting ain't just reserved for the big guys. These go-karts tear up the track at 60 miles per hour. Incredibly, no roll cages and no shoulder harnesses. So, what happens in a crash? It's human ragdoll time. Here's a slow-motion look through the lens. The second-place driver is 18-year-old Michael David. He's making his move for first when the lead car cuts him off.
It sent the car doing cartwheels until we hit the bushes, and then I was thrown out of the car and kept tumbling more.
Again, frame by frame so we can see what happens. Michael's making his move on the outside. At this frame, the lead car cuts him off. Michael swerves. Then by this frame, he's launched from the car. He corkscrews through the air and nosedives into the ground.
Luckily, the dirt was soft, so I didn't hurt anything. I was sore, but I didn't break anything.
Michael David, 60 miles an hour, without his car. Find a mountain, create a sporting event. He who rides his bike highest wins. Welcome to the Le Grand Bornand. That's French for my motorcycle can rip out your guts. This is a throwback to the days of gladiators. Spikes, chains, blades. These weapons on wheels can spell the difference between life and death. And here it's the spectators, not the competitors, who might get beheaded. That's the reigning champion, Jan Sinet, gunning for the top when his over-torqued bike turns terrorist and rampages out of control towards the crowd. People scatter for cover. You can run, but you can't hide from this raging beast. Dozens can be hurt or killed. Here it is from another angle. The bike gets away, and like Freddy Krueger, this monster will find its prey. Will it be this helpless tiny dog? He barely survives. What about this guy? Does he have victim written all over him? You bet. Amazingly, he survives with only minor injuries. Here's one last look at the day when the peaceful French Alps were terrorized by hell on wheels. Julia Webb loves horses. But do they love her? You be the judge. Here she is enjoying a jumping competition. She loves her horse Rainbow Bay. But here it is again, slower and closer. Ah, it's gotta hurt. Fortunately for Julia, she doesn't break her neck. She gets back in the saddle, which turns out to be a gigantic mistake. Now here's Julia at another horse show.
Costume champion for the Arabian band.
That fancy costume just earned Julia a first-place ribbon. It's victory lap time aboard her Arabian stallion, Albino. She really loves him too. They tear around the ring. Warning, 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 fence post up ahead. Whatever you do, Julia, don't hit that fence post. One more time up close, as Julia relives her nightmare.
I started out on my victory path and decided I was going too fast as I went along the big grandstands, and I tried to turn him to make another pass. He decided to exit the ring. He leaned to the right, and I was thrown into the fence post.
Fortunately, what you see splattering is not Julia's face, it's the fence. Julia, we know you really love horses, but it just might be time to consider what they think